Right now, so I was gonna read out I want to rap. Yeah, bro. No, man. Alright, when I do that energy, I just one day, no, thank you.
2019 has been a very violent year. I've had a violent life. Since I've been in San Francisco, I've intervened more than 400 times in different things happening to people that I come across randomly. I've only had to make physical contact like 5 or 6 of those times, so I consider that stellar. Since November of 2016, I've been targeted for physical violence, generally extreme, very often life-threatening physical violence, 31 times personally. 2019, people around me have been dying violently. In January, I saw a customer murdered by a Safeway contract security guard. In front of me, I watched him die. In March, I lived through my first mass shooting here in San Francisco. 2 dead, 5 wounded. There are only 5 news stories about it you can find because all the victims were black. Welcome to 2019 San Francisco. There's a Starbucks out on California. 5 nights a week, it's one of the only 24-hour things in the city. People come, they leave their laptops and go to the bathroom or get more coffee. Laptops get stolen. On the reg. Last night, 2 guys strong-armed a guy while he was sitting in front of his laptop and took it in his iPhone. I'd seen them come in and case the place about 10 minutes before. Then I watched them while I was smoking a joint and drinking my coffee behind the Starbucks, go through a bag by their car and then walk back into the Starbucks a second time. The victim was chasing one of the guys out screaming when I saw him again. He had the laptop in his hands. He was running like a track star. For whatever reason, the victim got in front of the car as the guy was trying to drive. I watched him get knocked down by the car screaming. As I was screaming, "Stop!" He laid there. In my mind, it seems like an eternity between the front 2 wheels, half of him on the car, half of him out, screaming, "Stop." The driver paused for like a second and a half, with this man screaming underneath his car, begging him to stop. And then drove over him with the passenger side tires, front and back, while I watched, while I screamed, "Stop." For whatever reason, the second guy came out at that point. I tried chasing him. He jumped into the back seat of the car as it was moving. I threw my coffee at him and hit him with it, and the coffee spilled all inside their stolen car. This is America in 2019. That night, the manager tapped me on my shoulder while I was trying to disappear in a movie online, trying not to think about that guy screaming stop as the car drove over him anyway. And she said, "This is Ethan." And what are you talking about? And she pointed at the man who had been driven over in front of me, standing there on crutches and a cast on one leg, back from the hospital to thank me. That too is America in 2019. I know everyone knows there have been more mass shootings this year than days in the year. By now, most civilized people are realizing that it's going to get worse before it gets better. Right now, if you're looking forward, most paths forward, not just for us, not just for our country, but for the world, most paths forward right now lead through a cemetery. The one that doesn't is paved with forgiveness. I really felt like shit because I couldn't catch the second guy before he got away in the car. I didn't start to forgive myself until I saw that man standing there in crutches, dragging himself back to that Starbucks to thank me for screaming stop and throwing my coffee and telling him he was going to be okay because they could still feel his toes when they touched them. Forgiveness. It's the only way we all move forward together. Especially when we have to forgive ourselves. We have a Nazi president, we have children in concentration camps. There are new horrors every day on purpose because the horrors are intended to drive us insane with rage or terror or both. Forgiveness doesn't drive you insane. Forgiveness comforts. Forgiveness heals. It will get worse, but we will prevail because we forgive. Feel it. Don't just say the word. Feel forgiveness. Thank you, Nick of the Woods.
Folks, give it up for Trump Rabies.